I'd like to welcome everyone to the City Council meeting of April 2nd, 2024. I'm Councilwoman Pam Cotter. Let's go over and who is on the dais this evening. We have Laura Bowen, who is subbing in for Brooke. We have Mark Richardson, who is in for GL. We have Patty Johnson, who is subbing in for Jennifer Kennedy. And we have Crystal. Where's Crystal? Oh, there she is. Crystal is now doing Patty's job tonight. So I think we're all covered. I welcome all council members. I welcome the mayor. Thank you. And those that are in attendance. Thank you so very much. The first thing we are going to do, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance, and I've called on Clark Bullen to do that. Thank you, Clark.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for doing that for me, Clark. I really appreciate it. Okay, the next thing we need to do is the approval of the minutes. Is there any corrections, comments, or actions on the minutes for March 5th, 2024? If not, I will take a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the council meeting minutes for March 5th, 2024.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
I have a second. Okay, Laura, do you want to do okay, go right ahead.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Hawk.
Aye.
Mr. Pickett.
Aye.
And Ms. Cotter.
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we're on to special recognition. I'm going to turn this time over to the mayor and also Matt Erklins. It is considered a joint resolution of the mayor and municipal council of Murray City, Utah, declaring Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 as Arbor Day. Matt Erklins, and I know it says Greg Ballon on it, but we made that correction, so it will be Matt Erklins. Thank you.
Do you want to say something after? Or I'll
Sure.
read it? Okay, so I'll read the resolution, and then Matt will say something, and we'll leave it in your hands.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, whereas Arbor Day is observed throughout the nation and even throughout the world on April 26, 2024, as trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas no exact value can be placed on a tree, as true value is in the eyes of the beholder, and the psychological, emotional, spiritual relationship between people and trees is far-reaching and complex. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil from wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, as well as provide fun, shade, cover, and even safety for us and our living creatures. And whereas in preparing for the future, Murray City is committed to managing the confined spaces along streets and near buildings, so we have a peaceful coexistence between trees, utilities, buildings, and people. And whereas Murray City Shade Tree and Beautification Commission has its prime objective, the beautification of our city by promoting the planting and care of trees and vegetation that will continually add beauty and value to our community, making it more enjoyable and desirable place to work, play, and live. As a Tree City USA now for 47 years, which is really huge.
Wow.
47 years, we are reminded that Murray City without equal. Murray is a city without equal. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and the municipal council of Murray City do hereby declare, if you pass, Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 as Murray Arbor Day, and urge all citizens to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, to plant trees that would gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this future generations while beautifying our city.
Thank you. Okay. I will entertain a motion.
I move that we consider a joint resolution of the mayor and municipal council of Murray City, Utah, declaring Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 as Arbor Day.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
I have a motion. I have a second. Is there any discussion by the council members on this?
Nope.
Well, I love my trees,
Us too.
especially when I have to spend a lot of money to keep it in my yard. Thank you. Okay, so Brooke, Laura, I have Brooke down here. Would you take a roll call?
Yeah. Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Hawk.
Aye.
Mr. Pickett.
Aye.
And Ms. Cotter.
Aye.
Okay, so passed, approved, and adopted by the mayor and the Murray City Municipal Council the second day of April 2024. And let me just take just a second. Y'all know Matt Erklins. Sound like I'm from the south, huh, y'all? I'm from the west, Magna. Anyway, Matt is awesome. He is one of our amazing, amazing employees of the power department. If you didn't see him in action, you had to have seen him in action when he put the Christmas tree up. He and about 100 others, but probably about 25 or whatever, but it was amazing. And they made it beautiful. And that's what Matt does. He's in charge of the arborist and just absolutely, we are known for that throughout many, many states. Murray's known for that. And Matt's been the head of that and should receive a lot of congratulations for what he's done, because he's done a lot of work for the city. How long have you been with us, Matt?
9 years.
9 years. I was going to say 90. Anyway, 9 years. You're too young. But 9 years Matt's been here, and it's been a blessing to have Matt. So I'm going to ask Matt if he'll just take a second and address the council. And thanks, Matt, for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mayor, and thank you, Council. I just wanted to touch on what the Mayor brought up about our 47th consecutive Tree City USA award. We are the longest running Tree City USA in the state, and we are going to be celebrating that on Thursday, May 2nd at the Arboretum. So I'd like to invite the Mayor and the council members to attend the celebration. So,
Do you have a time?
noon,
Noon.
yes. So,
And it will be in the amphitheater?
yep, the amphitheater.
Just like last year?
Yes.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
thank you. Does the council have any questions or comments for the mayor or for Matt?
I'd just like to say thank you, Matt. Thanks for being so dedicated to this. We really appreciate it.
You are very welcome. Thank
I
you.
will say it's a fun event. And if you haven't gone, you should
Yeah,
go.
it is.
Make the time.
See all the kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, seeing that we are done with that, we are now on to citizen comments. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Step to the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and then you can get the clipboard from Crystal and fill that out, and we will go to that point.
Say hi.
Hi.
This is my grandson Axel. This is his first time attending any kind of council meeting, and I thought we could just come up and say hi.
Hi.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go.
I should give a thank you.
Hello, I'm Clark Bullen from District 3. During one of the recent planning and zoning meetings, there were a lot of citizens giving comments. And I found that a lot of people they were caught off guard when their 3 minutes was over. And it came as an abrupt surprise. And I was thinking if we had a clock, like a timer or something that could help people know where they're at in their 3 minutes. Because if you're in the middle of a thought and somebody says 30 more seconds, then you're like, you lose your train of thought, and then you try to rush, and it'd be easier to pace yourself for those who are not used to that amount of time, because giving a lot of comments. Another thought somebody mentioned to me recently is that when they want to get people out to a meeting, the notice that they get of an important public meeting doesn't necessarily give them time if they wanted to send out a postcard or they wanted to give out advance notice and try to get people there. So if there's a possibility of expanding that timeline so that you can let your neighbors know, that you can have a chance to get all your communications out to get as many people to a meeting as possible, that could increase public participation and improve the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, seeing that there's no more citizen comments, we will go to the consent agenda, and seeing that there is no consent agenda, we will go now to the public hearing. The first item is consider an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. And it says Emily on there, but it's going to be Brenda Moore tonight presenting. Thank you, Brenda.
So as Emily discussed in the Committee of the Whole 2 weeks ago, when I was jetted off somewhere else, the amendment has been requested. I'll just quickly go through these. There was an adjustment to the election services for $23,451, $42,000 for the Parks and Recreation Centennial Celebration in the park, $13,000 for the Utility Billing Department to add a Spanish language option, which actually was tested today. We've had a police officer that's a native Spanish speaker go in and do some testing, so that will actually be up in a little while. If you don't pass this, then I'll have to find the money somewhere, but we'll find it. The $150,000 to convert the MCCD zoning code to a form-based code, to hire a consultant to do that writing. And then that would be paid for, because I am a very conservative budgeter, $128,451 increasing the interest revenue, and we have already earned that interest. It's already in the bank. And $100,000 increase in the sales tax revenue budget. Sales tax is even with last year, but I budgeted less than last year. So this $100,000 we will make in the budget unless we hit a really big recession in the next 3 months. Which doesn't seem to be likely. And then the last thing on here is $37,000 for the retirement payout for the Haida State Financial Coordinator, which will be offset by the revenue. We will be reimbursed for that. I just didn't want the expense budget of the police to have to cover that payout. Any questions before we have the public comments?
Yep. And we'll turn that time over to public comments now. If anybody would like to make a public comment, please fill out the form and you have 3 minutes.
I didn't realize that this would be the meeting where you'd be voting on a budget for the form-based code. But if indeed this is the meeting where you make that decision, I just wanted to put in a plug for that. I know it's a lot of money, but if you think about all the money that we could have been making on downtown, if we would have developed it the way that citizens would have wanted a long time ago, then you can think that we really can't afford not to do this, because this is what is going to set the direction of all of downtown and get us to where we need to go. And so I'm not generally one for saying, yeah, let's spend a big chunk of change, but I think it will pay off in droves and for years and years to come. And it's the culmination of all the surveys and open houses and all the things that are done to be able to accomplish what the citizens have said they've wanted over and over and over and over again. We need to be able to lay that out in a form-based code. This is the way to do it. I trust the planning department. please vote yes on that.
Thank you. Seeing that there's no other comments, I will close the public comment, and I will give the council time to now talk about these budgets. So, do I have any comments at all?
So just to clarify, Brenda, we have the money already. Like, this is, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm increasing budgets that will make budget, or the interest budget has already made that amount of money, and it will continue to. Interest rates are staying high, so it'll probably even make more. The sales tax budget projections, even if we keep doing exactly what we did last year, will be above budget by quite a bit more than this $100,000.
Okay. I can support this with the exception of number 4. I think it needs a closer look. I think we need to discuss it further. I have some concerns, and I don't think I'm the only one. So what I would like to have done, I'm not sure if now is the time to do it, or if it's after we have a motion.
Let's have everyone comment, and then we can go with a vote motion with what you want to do. Do you want to do it that way? And have people comment about the other budget items and the form-based code budget?
Okay,
Okay.
that's why I'm wondering, because I want to modify it. I want
Okay.
to change that.
Okay.
So do we need to have made the motion first?
Okay, I will go with a motion from Councilwoman Turner. She would like to hold off on the $150,000 and just vote on the other 4 items. Is that what I understand?
Yes, I would like to then move number 4 to be further discussion at the committee of the whole.
Okay. Do I have a second on that? I second it. So what I understand is you want to move to approve an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, leaving out the $150,000 for professional service related to writing a form-based code in the Planning and Licensing Division in order to discuss and vote on that item separately. Is that what I understand?
Yes, I don't think we've had enough time for that. And it is $150,000. I think that's a lot of money, and we have so much information on this already. I'm just not convinced that we really need to have this at this time. So
Okay.
that would be right. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion and we have a second. Before we take a vote on this, I would like to ask some questions, and maybe Brenda can answer, or if somebody's from the CED department, Phil. Why can't form-based code be written into the MCCD design already?
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
The current MCCD code is constructed through, I believe it's called Euclidean zoning. It's an entirely different type of zone where the zoning deals with the types of businesses that are located there. Form-based code deals, as it says, with the form of the buildings. It's more concerned with the environment and the buildings and how they relate to one another, where our traditional zoning, we say manufacturing is going to be here. You can have a restaurant over here, but you can't have, other things that don't match. The form-based code will basically give you a built environment that relates, all the buildings relate together. And when you're there, you have a feeling of harmony, and it just feels better.
Okay, and I've been contacted, and I don't know if any of the other council members have been contacted by a developer already. And this developer has the strategic plan, which I don't have yet. I mean, I have it, but I haven't been educated on that. And I feel as a council member, other department heads come in with their PowerPoints and slides, and they tell us what they're going to do, how it's going to look, where the money's going and all that. And I just feel that this didn't happen in the committee of the whole. And I kind of would like to wait on the 150,000 until I get educated with that strategic plan and how it all joins together as a puzzle. So I have the vision of what your department is seeing the vision of. Also, I don't have a problem with the form-based code. What I do have a problem with is the 150,000 when we haven't gotten the mayor's budget yet. And being not on the budget chair or vice chair this year, I don't know what that looks like. And I know last year we dipped into some of the money to cover nonprofits. And I'm getting very, very leery of dipping into the money and doing these things. So I'm wondering, could the 150,000 be brought into your budget when the mayor gets the budget from all department heads and come out of your department head budget? Could that happen?
That's certainly that's an adjustment that could be made. We did not ask for this in next year's budget.
Okay.
I would like to mention that we are scheduled to present in the MCCD on the 16th of April.
Right.
And we
Okay.
did sit down a couple of times, I believe, with most of the council members. We met at least individually with every single one of them and presented the form-based code to
And I
them.
really appreciate you meeting with me, with Zach and Jennifer. I really do. But this isn't the time to talk to the council
Understand.
members during the dais time. I just feel that conversation that we can have as council members is in the committee of the whole, where we can ask questions and we can bounce ideas off of all five of us. And I just felt like we didn't have that opportunity to bounce ideas
Right,
off of
yeah, that's
all
because
of
it
us.
would be a quorum, and we can't do that outside
Right,
of a regular.
exactly. But I did get Councilwoman Rosalba's email, and I read through hers, and her really good question was, 150,000 was percentage of the budget is within, and it is better to do it this year versus next fiscal year. Please explain, and you explained that. I just want to wait until the 16th.
Sure, I understand. There is also a very good chance that there will be a significant reduction in the professional services cost for this code. We have been putting out calls and asking for proposals from individual firms, and we have had a couple of local firms that we've been very impressed with as far as their ability to deliver on the timeline that we've requested, which is 6 months maximum, and the prices.
Are you guaranteed that 6 months? I mean, is it going to be done by 6
They
months?
present to us a timeline that has all of the steps in their process.
Could you bring that in on the 16th so we could see that process, or is that something that you can't do
You know,
yet?
I'll have to check because we're just receiving these quotes now.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'll have to make sure that that's an appropriate place.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I just like to get all the pieces of the puzzle together to form
Sure.
that vision that you and your department have, that I don't have that vision
And
yet.
I would like to mention that the MCCD plan has been on our website for about 2 months. And so it is available. It's a public document. And
Yes.
it's available for anyone to view, including you folks.
Right, right.
I would just like to add, I think $150,000 is a lot of money, and I think it needs a closer look. That's why I think it needs to be separate and further discussion.
Sure, we can do whatever you folks feel is appropriate, absolutely.
Thank you, Phil.
Can I ask a question real quick? You brought up something about you guys meeting with developers, a developer
Oh,
or
no,
something?
we just I had a developer call me personally, and
Did
then
other council members have, yes?
I've had them contact me, but I don't meet
Did you meet with them?
I don't meet
No,
with
he
developers.
called me on the phone.
That's what I mean, so you've talked to them at some degree. I've never,
And
I don't know.
And he said, I have the strategic plan. And I'm going, oh, okay. But it's on the website,
Yes,
I'm assuming.
has been
Oh,
for
okay.
quite some
And
time.
then he just said, I'm interested in developing a certain area. And I couldn't get it out of, I finally got out. He was talking about Block 1. So I'm thinking, see, this kind
Did
of.
you refer them to the planning department?
Yes,
at all?
oh,
Oh, thank you.
Pam did.
Oh,
She
Thank
gave me a
yes.
text.
Yeah, I've never, yeah, okay.
Oh,
I didn't know.
yes.
So this is interested, someone that's really interested in.
And I just feel this kind of dialogue should be held in the committee of the whole and not
Gotcha.
at the dais. But that's just me, but I could be wrong. But hey, it's my first rodeo in attempting doing this. But he was kind of like, oh, I see your vision, because he asked if he could see the survey. And I asked Phil, could he see the survey? And Phil goes, well, I don't see why not. So if he has the copy of the survey, he has the strategic plan, he knows what the people and the citizens want. I just feel as a council member, could we not do this together as a council and as the mayor and with Phil and Zach and Susan, how we did City Hall?
Yeah, we met first with those people first, and then we presented to the
Right,
council.
yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
So I just think this kind of conversation should be in the committee of the whole where we feel more comfortable than in the middle of a dais.
And you're talking about the developer, or this, what you and Diana
Yeah,
are
this
talking
and the developer who contacted me and.
Yeah, I don't think you will get developers in a public meeting to
Yeah.
talk
No,
about their
no, I'm
plans
not
for
saying,
Well,
I
that's a
just
public
wanted.
meeting, committee of the whole, is a public meeting.
No, I'm not saying I want the developers to come to the committee of the whole. What I'm saying is I want to speak freely in a committee of the whole where it's more relaxed atmosphere. This, I just feel that we're talking about 150,000.
But how we did you said you wanted to do it like Old City Hall, we brought you in
Right.
all individual and went
right.
through everything.
But he was like, I just feel from reading everything and Councilwoman Dominguez's email, it sounds like we're spending 150,000
Yeah, you're talking about for the,
Block 1. I don't see it for all of MCCD. So,
you're just saying in Block 1, you're saying.
yes, and that's what that's where I see my vision going is 150,000 for Block 1. Yes, we want the east and the west side estate all look great. But I think we could get that vision through the MCCD by tweaking it.
Well, no.
Can I just clarify something really quick?
Sure.
My questions were, is it less for Block 1? It wasn't just for Block 1. So in my questions and your answers, it
It
didn't
is for
specify.
it is for the
Yes.
MCCD.
That's
not
what,
just
that's
Block
my
1.
understanding. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify
It's for the-
that,
It's for the entire
that it wasn't
MCCD.
just for Block 1.
Yeah,
And currently in the MCCD, just tweaking it, there would have to be several tweaks, height, density, setbacks. And so my charge has been to try and move redevelopment in this area as long as, along as fast as possible. That's what we're trying to do.
right.
And if we have to discuss everything that we're working on every 2 weeks or every month, I'll die before this gets done.
Phil, just for
And
clarification,
that's not a joke.
if we just tweaked the zone, Zach said right now it takes you 15 minutes to answer a simple question. Is there a way to simplify
The
it?
process for tweaking anything with planning and zoning involves changing ordinances. and having public hearings, a series of public hearings. And then it has to go to the MCCD Advisory Board, which meets once a month. Then it has to go to the Planning Commission, and then it has to come to Council of the Whole, and then to City Council. That's what I mean by the process is not, we can all sit down and agree on something and feel good about it, and then have it done. That's what's
But even
involved.
just on a day-to-day basis, if a developer calls you, the form-based code would simplify an employee's life.
It would simplify both the developer and the employee, yes.
It's still $150,000, and I still think we need to.
And, if you're comfortable with appropriating less than that, we could get started.
But then Zach was concerned if we appropriate less than that, then he would probably have, or may have to come back to us, and he'd prefer not doing that.
Sure.
And
that's a
I would prefer
possibility.
not doing that as well.
Okay.
My concern is that this code is just another level of bureaucratic red tape. We have done this before. I mean, the mayor and I have gone through this for years, and we did change the code. We changed the code. We did Murray City Hall development. We're in the process of, and that ran very smoothly. So that's why I'm just not convinced that we need to expend these funds, and why I would much prefer to have further discussion on
Great.
it.
That's
And rather
entirely
than have it
your
be
purview.
part of this ordinance. I would-
Understand.
That's my concern. Anyway.
Okay, is there any other comments from council members?
Yeah, I would like to make a comment. First of all, Mr. Markham, your office has been very open, very helpful, and available. I've gone in and spoken a few times, and with you, with your staff, and your explanation that I've received has been, in my mind, satisfactory. And I think that we need to move forward with the funding of this. And we as leaders need to, first of all, have done our homework, and number two, move forward with it in making this decision now. We are under a direct demand from our constituents to move forward, and so I thank you for laying the groundwork for us moving forward.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to take this one step at a time, and city attorney will guide me along this way. Are you
Can
ready?
we repeat the motion?
Sure will. First, I would like to vote separately on the 150,000. So the first thing we are going to do is vote on the number one, 23,451.
There's,
Point of
but there's
order.
point of order.
Point of order.
Oh, sorry.
We have to,
Right.
don't we have to vote on if we can separate before you
Oh,
can vote
yes,
on?
yes. Okay, so let's take a vote. This is my first rodeo on this. Patience, breathe, everyone, especially me. Okay, so let's vote if we would like to move to approve an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, leaving out the $150,000 for professional services related to writing a form-based code in the Planning and Licensing Division in order to discuss and vote on that item separately. Do I have a motion?
You already have a motion.
Yep, I just want.
We have a motion
Okay,
already.
and I second it, and so now we will go for a roll call.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez.
Before I say anything, I just want to clarify, the 150, if we do anything less than $100,000, it's not open, the RFP process is not open, is that correct? Is that right? Okay, so under $100,000, the RFP process is not open. If it was over $100,001, then the RFP process would be open. That means the RFP process would then be open to the public. So with that, I deny the current motion.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Hawk.
Nay.
Mr. Pickett.
Nay.
And Ms. Cotter.
Aye. So seeing that it did not go forward, so I will take a motion for considering an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I move that we consider an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second that.
I have a second. So I will turn it over to you, Laura.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez,
Aye.
Ms. Turner,
Nay.
Mr. Hawk,
Aye.
Mr. Pickett,
Aye.
and Ms. Cotter.
Nay. So seeing that this ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2023-2024 budget has passed, and thank you for the conversations. We'll be looking forward to that April 16th with the strategic plan, and I will be coming with questions and all that. Anyways, we will go on to our next one. It is a business item, and there is none scheduled for the business item, and we will now go to the mayor's report. Mayor, I will turn this time over to you.
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Just for your information, Woodstock Meadow, so this is about the two parks that we acquired from the county.
Oh, yeah.
Woodstock Meadows Playground will be installed this week and hopefully finished by, well, we'll be, if the weather stays okay, it'll be finished by next week. So that'll all be in. Kim tells, was it Kim that told us this? Were you the one that told us that you thought it was a quiet park until you started taking the playground down? And Diane always said it's kind of a quiet park, and all of a sudden he said it wasn't that quiet anymore. But once they found out that we were putting new, they were thrilled, so.
They're very excited.
That's what I
They're
hear.
aware that that's happening, so.
That's great.
Thank heavens, I know. It was in bad shape,
Yeah.
so they were really appreciative.
Thanks to our park department. Also, Riverview Park, those tennis courts will soon be pickleball courts and being installed now, and the lights are being installed as we speak also. So.
I drove by Saturday in the rain, and they were working on the lights there. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, please.
When school is in session and they're out there ding, ding with the pickleballs, will that disturb the students and the teachers, or is it farther away? Because the only room that I know of is the science wing, but that's farther west, and then the shop is always got the saws going and all that. I didn't know if they're going to complain about that, or I was just curious.
They'll hear it.
Kim, do you know if they will complain about that yet? I'm just kidding.
I hear the pickleball from my house.
You
At
do?
my house, yeah.
From your house, you?
Yeah.
Wow. So they are
Things
going to hear
echo.
it.
I was just curious.
I'm not sure if they'll complain. I guess we'll find out. It is true that pickleball is much louder than tennis. If you compare it to the pickleball courts that are in Murray Park, there's an office complex right next door. We've never heard from anybody over there, so I'm hoping we have the same thing at Riverview Junior High.
Perfect.
I'll just add,
What?
pickleball's the least of their concerns with distractions.
Now
No
at
kidding, yeah.
Riverview, we're really good at Riverview. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I'm glad you asked, thank you.
you.
And then, next, if this is what they're called, dog poop dispensers, are in all the parks, and Kim had said earlier, please use them. And it's just a reminder, Kim said everyone's pretty good at picking it up and putting it there, but they're kind of getting in the habit of just leaving it on the trail and expecting the Parks Department to pick it up. They do pick it up, but they're just encouraging everyone, if they would, to pick up their own poop. So anyway, dog poop, sorry.
But we don't have any control where the Soccer County ice rink area is.
That's correct.
As far as poop or
That's county, yeah.
dog waste, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, that's correct, ma'am. Thanks for asking. Public Work has, and you have, last year you heard a lot more. Of course, there was 903 inches of snow up there, and so a lot of water coming down that mountain. And so we had tons of requests for sandbags. This year, a little, not much. Russ, is Russ here? Russ meets with the county on Thursday, the emergency preparedness for the sandbags. And so he'll meet with them and report that to us. what takes place after that, but they're already right now, Public Works has sandbags. So most of what you have right now, you're going to have to take and fill yourself. There are some, I can't remember, Doug, how many did Russ tell us that they had filled, 100? 5,000. How many? 5,000, excuse me, 5,000. So anyway, so they're available over at Public Works. Probably won't hear much until after Thursday when the county comes out and they'll get on the news and report what they found. So, but that is available now if they need to. A new program, Kim also reported, Sorensen, girls softball. It's just gone, they have 60 participants right now and they play at Riverview Junior High, and that is growing. I guess bonnet ball has no longer taken place for the last 4 years, and now they've moved into another league, and softball, I guess they call it women's softball.
I had
but
no clue.
yeah, it's growing. So this is growing back. So anyway.
I'm just gonna say, our Parks Department, I feel like, is doing such a great job with expanding our youth programs for our
Thanks.
kids. Like,
Yeah.
the softball is just the most recent example of this happening. They're doing a really good job.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's my report. Any questions?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Well, if there's no other comments or no other comments to the mayor, I will adjourn this meeting.
All right.